Welcome to GRE Mnemonics video number 71. A quick review of video number 70. Batman Bale is jumping on a bundle of cotton and hay. Bale. A cart is full of bales and Joker gives an evil look. The Joker was not at all satisfied and consumed an unending supply of drug sachets. The drug overdose rendered him unconscious. A courtroom officer held the Joker for violating the law with a bay leaf key bunch hanging on his trousers. Let's learn and understand today's set of GRE words. Delirious, having a delirium, wandering in mind, insane, raving, or wild. Clue, during daily recess, a man would turn mad. He wins a lottery. So visualize, during daily recess, a man would turn mad and he wins a lottery. If you are delirious, you are uncontrollably excited or a bit crazy, like when you win the lottery and run screaming through the streets, delirious with happiness. While we sometimes like to say metaphorically that strong emotions make us delirious, this adjective has more grim origins in the Latin word for delirium or madness, in the medical sense that is. When you are delirious from a high fever or a serious bump to the head, you might become incoherent, hallucinate, or have disturbing dreams. Barcarole, a boat song of Venetian gondoliers. Clue, so he travels to Venice, boatman's song. Visualize. So he travels to Venice to visit a bar in his car and a boat while listening to the boatman's song. The most famous operatic specimen of a barcarole is from Jacques Offenbach's The Tales of Hoffmann. The gondolier's song, the barcarole, is a traditional folk song sung by Venetian gondoliers, or a piece of music composed in that style. Late 18th century French, from Venetian Italian barcarola means boatsman's song, from barca as in boat. Deliquesce, to dissolve gradually and become liquid by absorption of moisture from the air. Clue, a delicacy on which salt is dissolving into liquid. Visualize, he also tastes a delicacy and finds the salt dissolving into liquid. This type of salt deliquesces easily. It is necessary, however, to pack salt in a container since salt is deliquesced or becomes liquid by absorption of moisture from air. Alcove, nook, small recessed section of a room. Clue, cave under the ark, a lottery vault. Visualize, he soon runs to hide his lottery in a vault behind a cave door under the ark. Chapels in churches are often alcoves. So picture one set off to the side with a vault ceiling, separated by pillars and small railing. See that and you see an alcove defined. If your bed is in an alcove in a studio apartment, it is in a recessed area of the room, separated by an arc or a half wall, but not by a door. Think of an alcove as a sidecar to a room or even a cave. It's a separate smaller area that is still attached but feels cozy because it is partially enclosed. Banal, obvious and dull, commonplace, lacking originality. Clue, he reads the newspaper and is bored. Visualize, he wakes up from his dream and boringly reads the newspaper and is bored to know that lottery is banned. If something is boring and unoriginal, it's banal. Banal things are dull as dishwater. Ever notice how TV shows, songs, and even phrases are boring and unoriginal? It's like you have seen or heard the same thing a million times. Anything that's unoriginal and dull is beyn-l, a fancy word for things that bore you to tears. When you are writing, try not to be banal. Cliches and dull topics are banal. New ideas, fresh language, and unusual subject matter can keep your writing from being dreary and banal. Let's summarize using this short story. During daily recess, a man would turn mad. He wins a lottery. So he travels to Venice to visit a bar in his car and boat while listening to the boatman's song. He also tastes a delicacy and finds salt dissolving into liquid. He soon runs back to hide to his lottery in a vault behind a cave door under the ark. Soon, he wakes up from his dream and boringly reads the newspaper and is bored to know that lottery is banned. Time for a quiz. Do you remember the word which means having a delirium, wandering in mind, insane, raving, or wild? Do you remember the meaning for the word barcarole? Do you remember the word as well as the meaning associated with this mnemonic? We hope you got all three of them right. In case you haven't, feel free to watch the video again. Let us know about your experience here till we meet next with the next set of GRE words. Thank you.